What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Shaw and Steele Show. On today's episode, we got a very special guest. So with that being said, Steel Chambers, tell them who we got.
This right here, this is a man, an agent of chaos, per se. This is a man indifferent to the gods, for he does not envy their power. A being that was forged in the trenches, fueled by a youthful spirit, and brought down upon this world like an angel from the two-time ACC Defensive Lineman of the Week and reigning national champion, our dear friend, money-making Mitchell Melton. Bring him on.
Oh, what an introduction. Thank you, guys.
Mitchell Melton. How you doing, Mitch?
I'm doing good, man. I never had an introduction so well in my life. I feel like some type of Greek god or some character. That was amazing.
I want to make up celebrate, and you are, buddy. That's all I'm trying to do here.
I appreciate that, man. But I'm glad to be here. Congrats for having me on.
We love you, brother. We're pumped to have you on the show. So we got a couple questions for you. We'll get right into it. And the first one, just for people watching this, Mitch was at Ohio State with Steele and I, and he was there for 5 years, right, Mitch?
Yes,
and
sir.
Then had a great career at Ohio State, and he wins the national championship with the Buckeyes last year. And then you decide to hit the portal. I transferred out of Ohio State, so I can relate after having some success there. So what I want to ask you, Mitch, is what was that transfer process like? What went into that? What went into that decision? Why did you end up transferring? And then in the end, why did you end up going to the University of Virginia?
Yeah, I mean that transfer portal process was very, very interesting. I was doing it during the season. So I had told Coach Day that I would like to enter the portal. It was right before the Tennessee game, and he was very receptive towards my process. So he allowed me to stay with the team and help contribute. And from there, it was weird. We would have like the Tuesday practice, and then I'd go home and get on a Zoom call with a bunch of college coaches. So it was a very, very interesting process. But I was I made it very clear like what I wanted from these schools and what I wanted for my career at this point in my career. Like, because I've been in college for about 10 years now, so I need a little bit more playing time. I need a little more of an opportunity to show my skills to go where I want to go. And I think Virginia was the most receptive toward that process. They were very clear and communicative, and Coach Elliott and his staff were really understanding of what I needed for my career and what they needed as well. And it was a very transparent conversation, and I think it married up very well.
Yeah, no, it seems like it's been a perfect match for you so far. I mean, and then you're from Maryland, so you're kind of close back to home. But you mentioned Tony Elliott, and that's the next question I got for you. Since being at Virginia, what's that culture been like, in comparison to Ohio State? Because I always tell people that Ohio State's culture-wise is as good as it gets, but it seems like things are rolling over there at the University of Virginia. So what kind of coach is Coach Elliott, and what's that culture and vibe like since you've been there?
I give all the credit to Coach Elliott and the vibe and the culture he's created. I think he's a very players first kind of coach, and he looks out for the player, not only what they do off the field, but what they're doing on the field as well, on the field and what they're doing off the field as well. You get what I'm saying? But I think he always wanted us to perfect a 30-year-old version of ourselves. So like not only what we're doing in the classroom, but what we're doing outside, networking and things like that. So that was something that made me very interested in the program. But I think it's very interesting, like the difference between this and Ohio State. Like this is a team that's like, I think we had about like 30 new transfers or so. So it's an entirely different team, and it's a lot of different experiences coming together and trying to make it work. But I think what I thought was really cool, how quickly we came together and we meshed, because we all had a commonly shared goal, and we know that we wanted to be great. So I think we really put our head down. And I always like to say, like, this team is willing to learn as well as willing to lead. So I think a lot of guys have sometimes taken a step back or sometimes taken a step forward into being the version of themselves that could be successful for this team, for sure.
That's great. I think you go a beautiful segue into Steele's question. So, Steele, what do you got for him, man?
Yeah, Mitchell, this is Steele, college friend.
Can't forget you, buddy.
Yeah, but coming from Ohio State, you've got 5 years of experience under your belt. I'm just curious kind of how you've used all that experience as just tools to maybe enhance your leadership qualities on this Virginia team. I feel like you're coming in from, again, Ohio State, just a bigger type of program. So maybe you've injected a little bit of that Ohio State culture into this team, or at least I don't know. Yeah, just what way?
Yeah. I am the registered UNC of the team. So they look at me and they see age. They see a lot of it as well. But I think I've used a lot of the things that I learned at Ohio State. I've kind of brought it over. Like competitive excellence is one thing that I've harped on consistently throughout the season. And I think it's helped us go a long way, because like I don't know I think, Virginia's been through a lot and they've dealt through a lot of adversity, but I think the way in which we've found a way to respond throughout, and I think throughout the season, but throughout the past as well, has been something that I've tried to take with me from my time at Ohio State, but something that they've already had at Virginia. So I think I've learned a lot and they've learned a lot from me as well. And it's been a great relationship altogether.
Beautiful. I mean, I get nothing left for you.
Yeah. So Mitch, so a question I got for you, or kind of want to talk about, is when I transferred, that first season when I transferred to USC, like you said, it's like 30 transfers, it's a whole new team, and it happens really quickly. But my first year when I transferred was probably the most fun. Obviously I love being with you guys, but that first season at USC, it was just something about it. All new guys and a new real program, and just having success made it very, very special. So what, talk a little bit about the success on there and the kind of group of guys you guys have.
Yeah, I think it's all the credit goes to the coaches, because they went out and found those specific guys that make this team what it is. And they knew what kind of guys they needed to make this team successful. So I think a lot of credit goes to them, but I give also a lot of credit to the players, because a lot of them came in with expectations and goals they had for themselves. But I think we came together and understood that the team has to be first in everything we're doing. So I think I give all the credit to the guys that came in. A lot of guys stepped up in leadership roles. A lot of guys stepped up in other roles that they didn't know they could. And I think it goes back to being humble and understanding what is needed for the team and what we can do to be successful in the long run, for sure.
All right. Yeah, we're obviously seeing that connection you guys have built. I mean, you go out, you beat a fantastic Florida State team, storm the field in a fashion I've never seen before. That was beautiful. Very. What kind of thing are you guys doing in the offseason and through this season to just become a closer team? I know Ohio State, we went to Zoom Pissy Bay during camp. What kind of stuff are you doing to become a closer group and bond?
Yeah, I think Ohio State, we had a lot of fellowship, just taking time outside the facility, hanging out. We had a D-line cookout over the summer, which I thought was really impactful. And it was really good to see the guys outside of their workout uniform or their football pads. And it was really just a good time to sit down and get to know the guys on a deeper level. I've actually picked up a little bit of fishing this past summer, just fishing with the guys. It's been nice, man. It's been real nice. And there's a lot of beautiful spots out here in Virginia. But just spending time outside of the facility has been the biggest thing, where I feel as though the team has gotten a lot closer. Just having something to talk about, when you come in the next day from workouts, just sharing those memories. You guys know about it, all those times we had back at the bar house, back at Ohio State. But yeah, I think the guys have really taken advantage of the opportunities outside the facility. I actually went to Hawaii with a couple of my teammates over the spring break.
What?
And,
what? Oh, so you're living life down there in Charlottesville, man.
Yeah, I mean, we had time. I had a week. My friend goes all the time. He's he used to live there when he was 5. So he asked if a couple of us wanted to go. We said, yeah. It was awesome. I've never had – it was amazing, a great opportunity.
You would tell me and Jalen in the group chat.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have told you. I just think you probably
Mitch has moved on, man. He's moved on.
Oh, don't say that. I know where I came from. I know who made me. No, I'm just saying.
He's got big.
Nah, it was a great opportunity. And I think it was testament to how close we've gotten over just a short amount of time. Yeah, I mean, these guys are really good, and they're really good friends, and it makes it really easy to go to war with them, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how close you guys are, because you drop an early one to North Carolina State, but you come back, you beat Florida State, like Steele talked about. And then kind of a question that Steele and I had for you guys after that game was, are you going to use it as momentum, or kind of an emotional? You've played in plenty of big games, Mitch, and you can go one or either ways, but it looks like you guys are really using it as momentum. Just kind of talk about that vibe in the locker room, going from the loss at NC State to a huge win over Florida State, and then have to turn around quickly and go fight in another overtime game against Louisville.
Yeah, it's been a season of challenges, but I think the success of the team has come to how they overcome those challenges and those obstacles. But I know that NC State game, we were very mad, not only at ourselves, but the things that we did on that field, because I feel like we lost that game more than they won it. But I think we understood what we can be. And even in that game, we realized we can play with the best of the best. And all we have to do is literally just do our job and stick to the game plan that the coaches have made, because it's going to put us in the right position every time. So we really just stay the course, understanding that it's a week by week kind of thing, and we can't take it. We can't let the past overtake the present and everything that we're doing. So I really understand. I think in the moment at NC State, that we had to lean on our leaders, and guys like me and a lot of the leaders on the team had to make it known that we can still achieve everything that we want to. And luckily, it wasn't even a conference game, which was something I never had experienced, but it was still something that allowed us the opportunity to respond, which is really crucial in this time of year. So it's been great.
Something I'm realizing right here, I think just a beautiful thing for anyone that's heard Coach Day talk to his team. Mitchell, he's just basically a soundboard. He's just saying all these sound bites that he's been this for years. So just the fact that you went to Virginia, but you're still just taking in all that information, all that knowledge you got from Coach Day over at Ohio State, I think it's a great thing. Just use kind of propelling yourself and this Virginia team. I just want to say I very much appreciate that.
I appreciate you noting that. I think Coach Day, he's probably one of the more pressurized coaches in all of sport. I think he's been through a lot, but the way in which he's handled that and still been a consistent leader for his team has been something that I've always given him a lot of credit for. And it's allowed me to take some sound bites, like you said, and a lot of his coaching points. But it makes sense why they are who they are, and he is who he is because of all the things that he preaches on. So I think it makes sense for me to take some of that and use it for a team that not necessarily needs it, but to love to hear it because it's just another way that another perspective they could have and to see why success is not easy to come by.
Yeah, and on top of those coaching points, your journey, you've been through a lot of adversity, and I can just talking to you now and kind of messing with you when we're all together. Steele's changed and I've changed, and it appears you've changed for the better as well, as we all have. So kind of just you've been through injuries, you've been through a lot. Had to transfer. You didn't have to transfer, but decided to transfer. You go to Virginia, and now in the last 2 games, you're defensive lineman, ACC Player of the Week. You got like 12 tackles, 2 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles in those last 2 games against Louisville and Florida State. So just kind of talk about that adversity, and then obviously for the younger athletes and younger guys in the great state of Maryland, we'll say, what would you tell a group of kids sitting in the classroom in the great state of Maryland that are aspired to be like you, Mitch, because you're really doing something special out there right now?
And I appreciate that. I've always found myself with the thought that my expectations pale in comparison to reality, and everything that I've expected to happen probably hasn't gone the way I wanted to, but I'm still so grateful for this opportunity and the journey that I've been on. It's made me, find brothers for life like you guys and learn so much about myself in the process. So I'm truly grateful for it. And I think if I had anything to say for some great guys in the state of Maryland, I'd just say enjoy the process and enjoy the journey. It might not be what you want it to be every time, but it's still going to be a blessing at the end of the day. And you're going to learn so much about yourself and those around you that will make you very lucky to be a part of it. And also just embrace the response, because a lot of things are going to go right and a lot of things are going to go wrong. But what you can control is how you respond. And you guys have definitely heard that before. So I think embracing that response, embracing the journey is the biggest thing.
You just gave me the butterflies, buddy.
Love to hear.
Close it down here. And of course, we're going to end it by shooting the shit. So just, Mitchell, what was your favorite memory at Ohio State?
Oh, gosh. I mean, too many to count, but I think I can't remember the restaurant name, but those times we would go to that restaurant, you get like the stack of ribs. We would all just sitting down and just chilling with the guys. Bar house.
Special occasions.
Yeah. What was the place called though?
Hickory House.
Hickory House.
Hickory House was the place. I think the bar house cemented my time at Ohio State. I mean,
oh yeah.
Think about those days every day. I think about those times we had, those memories. I think about Tommy driving on the sidewalk. I think about you guys driving through the snow and hanging on Cade's truck. I think it's just all those times you had. It really, and I even think about when you were Bryson, you decided to transfer and we had that heartfelt moment outside of the bar house. It was just a culmination of all the things that we've been through, and it made me really enjoy the time we had. So much so that I'm still in college. I've been here for so long, but I think those times that we had made it so much easier to do all the hard things that we did. It made it so much easier to grind and sweat and have tears, blood, sweat, and tears, and all those things. So it was just the times that we had made everything else so much more easier. And I can't be nothing but grateful for it. It makes me miss it every day. You guys know that. But yeah. It's been a great time.
I just want to clear up. We brought up a couple times. Bar house, for people that don't know, we live in a bar. It was 10 guys and then 10 other guys that would basically live there part-time. So it was a literal old school bar. So just clear.
Bar was in the kitchen.
Mitch, so you're saying that the bar house was better than their new house? Am I hearing that right? Because
don't start.
They always say to me,
whoa. I'm not here to start anything like that. Here's what I'll say. The bar house was second to none, just like the house that they had after was second to none. I think But Monday dinners at the second house was, something beautiful.
We never Monday dinners. Whenever we were
Yeah,
smoking.
those dinners were they brought a lot of people together, and just to have that fellowship and sitting, it felt like a more intimate familial vibe. You know what I'm saying? But the bar house itself was as chaotic as it was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I think there was never a chance where there wasn't at least like 12 guys in that house, and that in itself made it awesome. Kind of paused on that, but it made it awesome because like there was always something to do. There was always something to watch or something. It was just like I remember that time we were watching like the Final Four that one, and it felt like there was 20 people in the house, 4 dogs.
Boiled it.
Yeah. Well, it was St. Peter's versus I think Kentucky, and Cody ran in. He said, "I don't care, I'm gonna spoil it," and he spoiled it anyways. And I don't blame him for it. Jersey guy, they're just like that or whatever. But it was just like just the best of times, literally. And
it was. All right, Mitch, that wraps it up for me, brother. Steele, you got anything else for Mitch?
No, I'm gonna punch in my "I love you" card. I know I don't give you those too much.
I need that. I needed that. That's awesome. I love you. Too. I love you.
Yeah, Mitch, we're so proud of you, man. We're really enjoying watching you play and just wishing you the best of luck rest of here. And once you finish up, we'll all have to get together again and go on a trip or something.
No, for sure. We got to coordinate it, and we all get together for sure.
Yeah. All right, brother.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Later, bud.
See ya.
And this concludes this episode of the Shaw and Steele Show. And if you like what you just watched, do me a favor and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, because I'm telling you, Steele and I have a lot of good things in the works, and you're not going to want to miss it. So once again, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and that does it for me.